I got to play Midnight Suns last week. I flew out to Baltimore and went to the Firaxis studio, and met the stewards of the studio, like Sid Meier. Yeah, I met that person. He was there in the office, and he came out and said hi, and I said, "Hi, Sid Meier. You're kind of a big deal." Then he said, "Fuck off, kid. Get out of here. I gotta go make a game." And then he left. And so that's yeah, he was there. Said hi. I toured the studio for a little bit, and then we got 5 hours with Midnight Suns. That's what we're going to talk about. I'll take questions from the chat. I'm not really sure like where we want to go with this in terms of the coverage of it. So let me make sure this is good. Looks good to me. This is, I think, towards the beginning of the game. Kind of just skip around here. You got some cutscenes and stuff, some big names. That's like the main character right there. Here's some of the opening fights. You got Doctor Strange. Oh, weird. Hold on, this is captured wrong. The desktop is all messed up. Let's do that. There we go.
Mr. Stark is brash, but I assure
you
he can be trusted.
You can hear the voice a little bit.
You seriously don't know who I am? The fabric of magic is shifting, Johnny.
So that's the old Ghost Rider.
The Midnight Sun is upon us.
Your last crusade cost me plenty. This time I intend to look after my own.
It's the old Johnny
Hey, pal,
Blaze.
I don't think you understand. Things are changing. 2 + 2 no longer equals 4. Up is
They're kind of
sometimes
setting up
down,
the game.
and
He's going around
Strange here
talking
is
to
actually
folks and all that
starting to make
stuff.
sense.
Do I look like someone who
The reason we're going to
gives a
keep
damn
showing
about
this
any
is
of
so I
that?
can show you guys
No,
the
you
first
look like
fight.
you should be bouncing for the double deuce. Listen, all I know is hell's coming, and my pal here says you can help.
That's where you're wrong. Hell's not coming. It's already here.
Uh-oh. What a great way to start a video.
Welcome, Robo-Man.
The game definitely has a, like,
Iron Man?
comic book feel to it. See, right there. Robo-Man, supposedly famous billionaire inventor. Kind of shows you the comedy that they're going for.
I know what he meant.
And so it puts you right into a fight at the start of the game. And here's how the game works.
We come all the way out here, and the old man runs off with that precious page.
So, I'm going to pause here. So a lot of people are put off immediately by the fact that there's cards. It's not a card game at all. The cards are just a tool to allow you to do things in the game. That's it. There's no other. They're just your abilities in a form delivered through cards. I think the earlier trailers, and I was telling the devs this as well, having played it, I think the earlier trailers did a disservice to the game because it actually plays really, really fast. I used controller, so we had mouse and keyboard and controller, and I opted to just like sit back and play with a controller, and it worked out very, very well. There is deck building or choosing your abilities, I suppose, in the game. But yeah, here's me kind of figuring out the UI and all that stuff.
Johnny Blaze has sacrificed a great
Trying to figure
deal
out
for
how
this
it works.
world
I think at
over.
that point I'm still using mouse and
I am
keyboard.
certain he will
Yeah, I
come
am, because the
around
prompt
to
says
me.
E. It kind of tells you how to play all this stuff.
We didn't have. All right, let's just wrap this up. I got sand in my
But people
mouth.
get really stuck on the idea that it's a card game because there's cards. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. It didn't feel like a quote unquote card game to me at all. It felt like a version of XCOM. Let me skip ahead a little bit. There you go. You can see some of this different stuff. So this is one thing right here. So like the environment plays a huge role in this game. Some of the cards have different attributes to them. This one has knockback. Some creatures you can just straight up kill as long as you hit them once. This creature, I believe, has HP to it, so it doesn't die from one hit, but you can knock back this creature into this creature over here on the right. Sorry, I was on the other monitor. and it does damage. And so that's kind of the general evolution of the game. Is first couple of fights you just have like straight up one-hit kills, and then as the game progresses, you start to get more and more abilities from said cards to do different things. This is that one right here. Heroic, there's another meter over here. So some cards give heroism, some cards use 2 heroism, and then that depletes this. Each turn, I think you start with 3 card plays. You get 1 move, so you can just move someone, because positioning plays a pretty important role in the game, in the sense that if you're attacking a creature from a certain angle, then the creature will then knock back or interact with the environment from that specific angle. And so you kind of have to think about that when it comes down to playing. This is me just deciding how I want to play here. I'll skip ahead a little bit further. Are the damage values you deal a set value? They are a set value. Yeah. At least from the cards are a set value. I think environmental damage is... The environmental damage will show you how much damage it's going to do, if it's going to kill or not, but there's no percentages tied to it.
For the moment.
This is just kind of showing that a little bit more.
Now that I have their attention, perhaps a blessing is in order. Something protective?
Well, I could give you a hand, or a shield in this case.
This is showing you the skill card stuff. This just gives block to an ally. Block is just kind of like armor, essentially. There's heal cards. The main character, the hunter, which is your character that you can play. They can kind of go with this like dark or light side focus. Light side heals more, dark side does more damage and kind of takes HP from you. I didn't get that far to kind of see a lot of the ramifications of that. But we'll show the end of this fight, and then I'll kind of skip towards the end.
I'm skeptical of your chances, but
I will say this: the game is pretty story heavy, at least initially. After these first like 3 fights at the beginning of the game, it's probably about 30 or 45 minutes of story stuff, cutscenes featuring the different characters, a lot of deep cuts within the Marvel lore, a lot of Easter eggs thrown about, and all the different environments that I was in. Is it a good story? It's not bad. I was only 5 hours in. It was kind of like, oh no, the big bad's here. The hunter gets summoned. The hunter is the big bad's son and or daughter, kid, essentially. And she's the one, or he's the one that knocked her out the first time. Lilith, the bad guy, is kind of like, in the world of Marvel, an Omega level threat. And so she's a big, big deal. There's a cutscene that kind of shows that, where you just get demolished. Did you find out how roughly long the game is? They said the game is 60 hours long. And that seemed very crazy to me. To hear that it's 60 hours long. Because I played 5 hours and I was pretty pissed off, and they're like, hey, you got to stop playing. And so the fact that there's like another 55 on top of that, we'll see.
I'm saving my energy.
So this fight ends. That's using the different environment there. Interacting with the environment takes 1 heroic point. I think different environmental actions take more environmental points later on. Can animations be skipped once you've seen them once? I don't believe so.
if I'm being honest, that encounter
Here's a little bit
went
more of the story.
better than I expected.
Tony,
I have a bunch of different VODs for this. I'm going to kind of skip around here. You take a teleport to the Sanctorum. Captain Marvel shows up. Now we got a 3-man crew. Crews are generally, I believe 4 people's the max. Captain Marvel is very strong. Are there costumes? Yes. Yes, there are.
I guess you don't know who I am.
Here's a little bit on how the move stuff works. I forget the conditions around it. So every character has a passive ability, and that passive ability gets better. There's friendship ratings with the main character and the other superheroes. And so there's kind of like this whole, it's really like Fire Emblem or Persona, to where you can like hang out with these people and interact with these people. And like, one of them's kind of silly because you lift weights with Captain Marvel. And like, sure, I guess. Why not? Yeah. And then that like increases your friendship rating. We're gonna be MCU costumes. I have no idea what costumes there will be and won't be, to be honest. I just know they exist. How do they handle someone with Wolverine? I was not able to get to Wolverine in the story, so I have no idea how he plays. We were able to access Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Nico, Mystic, Ghost Rider.
Looks like Hydra is working overtime.
We eventually unlocked Spider-Man, but I can't say anything about him. That was past the embargo.
These guys just keep showing up.
They are surprisingly
There's a
relentless.
bunch.
In any event, we must provide Wanda the time she needs to activate the
Ooh,
wards.
I'm
of
missing
protection.
someone, I think. Yeah, it said magic. There's a bunch of people. One of the cool things about, I forget the conditions for it, but with Captain Marvel, she can go binary, and then all of her damage does, oh yeah, Blade. That's right, Blade was one of them. I could play as Blade. But she goes binary, and then all of her damage goes crazy. It does a shit ton of damage. I don't know if that might happen here. Oh yeah, we can watch the photon beam come in. A lot of what you're seeing in terms of the combat being slow is me just getting used to the combat and like understanding how it works. So that was me moving right there. You can move once per turn, and then you kind of like line up this photon beam. So here's me trying to see what the range and like distance on all that stuff is. But it's cool because they got rid of like the grid system in a interesting way that you would expect from like, you know, the creators of XCOM. An idea what happens upon character defeat? I have no idea. I didn't die. I was playing on normal. There was a lot of difficulty settings. I want to see if she can go binary here. How open are the maps? The arenas are pretty contained, but they were pretty varied. You're going into like warehouses and famous places like this. I know that they said that Avengers Tower is in there. The Baxter Building is in there. A bunch of like famous places
Something's up.
in the Marvel world are all in there.
Hydra has clearly raised their
Is there a
game.
progression system? Yes. So you level up your cards, which levels up the abilities on the cards. And those abilities actually change and do different things based on the level up. Characters also have level ups on them as well. And they did say that not to worry about like having people fall behind because once you get to a certain level, the lower level players will automatically level up. Are there obstacles in the arenas? Yes. Looks like the cards are random each round. They are, yeah. Yeah, the cards that you draw, I think, are random, but they're from your, like, set of abilities that you bring in. After this, I believe we end up going to kind of the main area. I was trying to see if Captain Marvel will go binary, but it looks like this is it. Yeah, so I think there's a little bit of a cutscene here. I'll let you guys see that just so you can see some of the story beats. What was your favorite card you used?
Blocking them.
I really liked Magic.
Someone.
The character Magic. She was kind of broken in my eyes. This is the big bad. This is Lilith.
Gozer?
Lilith, mother of demons, harbinger of the midnight sun, prophecy or not.
That is the Scarlet Witch.
Challenging.
Is there a release date for it? Yeah, October.
Be silent.
October 23rd, I think. Yeah, there was not obnoxious, but there was just an absurd amount of weird references in this game to, like, for example, Gozer from Ghostbusters.
Be still.
What just happened?
Yeah, there's Captain Marvel punching Lilith, and
Be gone. No.
she's just kind of like,
A fellow daughter of Transia. You remind me of my own beloved.
In virtute vishanti.
got some badass magic from Doctor Strange there.
Well done, Miss Maximoff. Your unique energy surprised her.
Whoa.
He was frozen, so, you know, silly goof.
Fine? What? I'm fine.
The prophecy is in motion. Lilith is still
Okay.
out there growing
See, let's
stronger
skip ahead a little
each
bit in the
second
VOD.
The fabric of magic is unwinding.
There you go.
We are fortunate to be here at all.
So he teleports you to the Abbey,
Exactly.
and then you get to meet some more characters.
Well, a pocket dimension in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, suburbs. Nice.
Welcome to the Abbey, home of the Midnight Sun.
There you go. Ye old Midnight Suns. That's Blade, Nico, Mystic, and Ghost Rider.
It's that jerk from TV. Which one?
Now, if everyone would just take a moment.
Enough.
Here's like kind of the, yeah, big character. This feels like spoilers. I mean, this happens in the first 25 minutes of the game.
You're standing on my.
Just kind of giving people story beats so they can see how they play out.
Caretaker now.
If I could have avoided this moment, I would, but...
Spare me the speech. I know Lilith's back.
Yeah, so then, you know, she goes in here, and then you do a little summoning, and bing, bang, boom. This is the player character. I think I can show you guys,
Speaking of, it would help to have a...
I think I can show you a little bit of the character creation. Let me verify. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's show you character creation. It looks like this. This is the main character. This is the hunter. There's a lot of different options. I obviously will choose the correct one. Yeah, it's kind of cool. They're giving the player like agency, so to speak, over a character within the Marvel world. You're not just like playing a Spider-Man or, you know, an Iron Man. You're playing like your character, the Hunter. It does look a little bit similar to the XCOM 2 character creation. You can see here, I'll skip ahead just a teeny tiny bit. I obviously chose the correct choices right here.
Hear the
Nico's kind of a badass. She's got some really interesting gameplay to her in terms of how she functions. It's kind of like wild magic in D&D. Her cards can have like or her abilities can have like random stuff, random modifiers play. So everyone's fully voiced as well. I forget the voice actress for the female character. The voice actor for the male character
As far as resurrections
is Matthew Mercer.
I've seen worse, particularly on myself.
Tony, come on. It's perfectly safe.
Anyways, let's skip ahead a little bit. Oh,
I know this place. In my dreams, it was always empty.
I feel like he's about to tell me to fucking roll for initiative. I gotta say, though, I nailed the character.
I am not alone.
Have to admit, Hunter, you make one hell of an entrance.
Yeah, it's just Mercer talking.
Guess that makes two of us.
You should have struck when you had the chance, vampire. You will not live to regret your error.
Cute, and Caretaker told me to be nice. Relax, Slayer, I'm a friend. You just don't know it yet.
Yes, I saw you with Sarah before. But what would she want with a vampire, unless...
The name's Blade, and I'm no ordinary vampire. I get you've been out of commission, but I thought you noticed since we're having this little showdown under the...
It's really weird playing a game where they're just like
Vampire.
talking about Marvel stuff.
Says the half-human, half-demon monster hunter.
You get dialogue choices. The dialogue choices give you friendship points in the positive sense.
Me, Daywalker, how did
Or
you
if
come
you
to
choose some of the dialogue options, they give you friendship points in the negative sense. And you can kind of piss people off if you want to. Let's skip ahead a little bit. So here's a map of the Abbey. Pretty big. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's the character. It shows you the friendship level. There's a ton of stuff in kind of the options area. Here's a little bit of the running around. These keys are things that you find within the Abbey grounds. They're not anything that you buy. It's just kind of a resource within the area. That little menu that I brought up right there, you find different abilities to unlock hidden walls, all that type of stuff. The running is pretty funny. You move very fast through this area.
I definitely helped, but no.
You can go and like talk to all these people. I'll skip ahead a little bit.
Midnight Suns.
Of course, that doesn't stop us.
This is kind of the inside of the Abbey. You can customize a lot of stuff within the Abbey in terms of just look and layout.
You seem pretty healthy for a reanimated corpse.
Everyone's got like quarters that you can go and visit in and like talk to.
I give it about 5
there's an upgrade
minutes before
area.
Tony starts in with his ye old.
I don't know if I'm gonna if you're gonna get to that. There's different things you find, like the fire rod that interacts with other stuff on the grounds. Masterworks are different paintings that you can put up in the grounds. There's things like this, Strange's Cape. Different little lore objects that you can go and interact with. There's the forge. That's the orb of Agamotto, obviously. How do you romance a character? I don't know if you can romance a character. I don't think you can. I don't believe you can. Tony and Doctor Strange kind of have the forge in their control. I found a bunch of tarot cards that all have like pretty well-known characters on them throughout the world. I didn't see exactly what they do. I didn't get to interact with that system. I just know they exist. This is kind of the central hub here.
Prophecies be daft.
You get to choose where your missions are.
Then let us make haste.
It's a cloak.
You can choose the squad here. You go outside and depart. You have to run outside and talk to
Just stew of this realm.
you talk to Magic. She sends you to limbo. This is what she's doing right here. You pick your powers? Yes, you're able to pick your abilities and set your abilities per character. In the 5 hours I played, I didn't really need to do that. I didn't get that many abilities. I did level up a handful of abilities.
You are standing in limbo. Nexus of all realities.
I really like Magic. I thought she's a very badass character.
Beyond the influence of Lilith. Thus far.
Let me
Are you certain of that?
so I'll ask you guys, what do you guys want to see more story stuff? Do you want to see more gameplay stuff? Do you want to see later in the gameplay? You want to see fights? Okay, let me find some combat. Let's find some combat here. Whoops, sorry about that. Let's get some late game combat. Let's see. Okay, I'll go to the last combat in the demo that we were able to have. So this is about 5 hours into the game. This is the introduction of Spider-Man, and we're fighting Venom. These are a bunch of Hydra agents. This is my first time playing with magic as well, and so I'm learning how they kind of work. You can redraw 2 cards per turn. You can play 3 cards. You have 1 move, and you can use 1 item. There's Venom. He kind of chooses areas on the map to throw that, and then at the end of the round, it goes off. That's a stun. Oh no, that's a weak thing. Some of these Hydra agents can like get buffed with things like Frenzy. That's magic right there. Some of the cards cost 0 to play. I hope I do the portal here so I can kind of show you guys this. This is a knockback ability from Spider-Man. On the card, it says knockback and quick. I believe the quick modifier means that if you successfully kill a mob, you get the card back into your hand. Isn't Spider-Man embargo? No, after this mission is. But I can show this mission. Kind of see here me learning how to kill the different folks. Do you heal between combat? No, you can actually, I'm pretty sure I have, the main character can heal, and I think Nico also has heal cards. But it's just straight up like heals 56 or 50 HP, that type of stuff. It levels up as well, so like heal plus does more. You can see me here trying to like position Spider-Man so that he can knock back into certain things like that. I think I do a portal stuff here pretty soon. Permadeath? There is a way to get permadeath in this game, yeah. Here's the hunter doing his little whip maneuver. That was pretty useful. You have multiple missions to choose from. So there's like normal missions where you can just go on them and do them. There's story missions, which is what this is. And I think there's like side character missions as well. So if you want to like follow different story paths with certain characters that I believe are all optional, you can. Those all come up on the table. I focused primarily on story missions while I was playing it because I wasn't sure how long it was going to take. And so I didn't really see too many of the side stuff. This is me learning how magic works. I think I end up winning this round. I'll show you the Venom fight after this. She's got like a bunch of portal abilities. You have to take the main character in the squad on missions, or you can have them benched. I think for story missions, some characters are always required, the hunter being one of them, but on side missions, you can just take whoever. The moves seem to have some automatic movement to get them into the range. Yeah, so the move ability that you get per round is only to move your character. If you're just using an ability, your character will automatically, no matter what, go and interact with the whatever it is. There's the heal right there. So it straight up heals a flat amount of damage. Am I blocking anything? Oh, I'm kind of blocking some of the UI here. Let me move my camera up.
Your loyalty to the Mother of Demons will be your undoing.
I'm taking that card and re-rolling it. I got a slash that does damage. It causes knockback. Just trying to see if I can knock him back into the newspaper. I think I could pick that newspaper up. Let's skip forward a little bit. Here's the Venom Fight. This is the final fight that we had access to. Is there any verticality to the terrain? In the missions that I played, no. Positioning matters a lot. You'll start to see some of this here.
Don't suppose you'd let us actually try and help you, Eddie?
So like right there, if I go back just a smidge, I'll show you the upgrade cards. Oh, wow. I didn't see that when I was playing. Holy shit. It's Conchu. I didn't even catch that. Nice. That's awesome. I didn't even notice that. Holy shit. So on these heal cards, the heal over there to the left is just the base heal. And this is the upgraded card. And it says, if overhealed, draw 2 cards. So it seems like the different abilities just continue to scale as you upgrade them. This ability, I told the devs this ability's broken.
Down is a definite maybe.
So it's like a giant AoE that forces the 2 people to move to the center of it. And you can also drop those people, like, if you drop them on that explodey thing over there, I'm pretty sure it blows that thing up. Here's me learning how these portals work. So it's a free cost card that creates a portal. And so you dictate what happens when a creature comes out of the portal. So I put a portal right there. The thing goes into that thing on an attack. And so you attack him, he goes through the portal and explodes. Magic's pretty badass. I really liked magic. The response that the devs had when I said that she was overpowered was that everyone's kind of strong and has different cool things about them. You just have to understand how they work. And so that also sounds fun, right? If everyone has like crazy stuff they can do. This is me. I thought I could like pick that, but I guess you can jump off of it.
No pain.
Trying to see what I can redraw here. Yeah, it seems kind of like the if everyone is OP, no one is type deal.
Hold still, little one.
This is the first sense of like danger. A lot of the characters have, a lot of the enemies have like reactive stuff. Reinforcements also come, so you always have a little bit of like normal fodder to kill. You have to attack the bound character to get them out of that bound. So it killed those two guys because all they have to do is take damage and they die. They're essentially just one-shots. There's a level up. Shows you get 12 HP and 3 offense. I think that's just like 3 attack, essentially. It's it's single player. I don't think there's any sense of co-op. They didn't discuss anything about that. Yeah, I played this whole demo with a controller. Most of the other people that were there all played with keyboard and mouse. No one really had any complaints about it. The combat is so slow, though. I wonder if it gets annoying after a while. I didn't really feel like it was slow. I mean, is XCOM combat slow? Because this felt faster than XCOM. I think I just play slow. And I know I play slow because people would tell me I'm playing too slow when I played XCOM. There's another level up. So that's kind of that. This is the bulk of the gameplay. I can show you guys some of the Abby stuff if you want to see that. Again, this ability is just so strong.
Do not cross me again.
I'll show you what happens here when you kill Venom, and then we'll show you some of the other Abby gameplay. Can you show skill trees? I'm trying to think if I have footage of that. I'll see if I have footage of that. Why does Venom look like that? Story purposes. You can farm levels or cards. I think you can level up pretty easily. The cards. I don't actually know how you get more cards.
Eddie always gets extra grumpy when he's hungry. Think he's bad.
I think you get more cards at the forge, and it shows you 3 cards, and then you can choose one of the cards from there. And there's a way to level that up so that instead of choosing a single card, you can choose 2 cards. No, it's not your wallet. There's no purchasing of any cards in this game whatsoever. Here's one. Do you have / want multiple copies of your cards in your deck to pull? That I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't get to interact with that. I know that if you get like, I think it's 3 cards, that's how you upgrade a card. Is the 3 cards of the first level turn into the second level is the process. Were there difficulties? Yes. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about how many difficulties, but if you've played XCOM, you should understand how many there's going to be. How do you get new costumes? I think there's a lot of different ways to get that. Do enemies ever take cover? There's not necessarily a cover mechanic in the game whatsoever, because like I think the idea is they're trying to, display a superhero fantasy. And so like if Iron Man were to shoot someone with a Iron Man beam, it's not like the guy is going to dodge underneath a rock or something. It's just gonna hit.
Nothing can Save you from us, little spider. Not hero.
How'd the game feel performance-wise? I was playing, I think I was playing 1080p with everything kind of maxed out. It felt perfectly fine.
I believe him. We need to put an end.
You mentioned he had 5 hours playtime. Is that because that's all you had time for, or what was the point? We were only able to play up till this point in the story. You finish this level and that's it. In the actual VOD, I was only able to play another like 10 minutes or so. Oh, okay. So it happened. You killed Venom and then he respawns. And then you gotta find him again. So let's let me go to some other footage here, see what else we have. What is this? This is kind of a different type of mission. This is in this mission, this was the only mission I restarted. The entire point of the mission is, you can see up here, you have to stop the Hydra helicopter from taking off. Here's the Hydra helicopter. You got to get through 84 HP basically. And I failed to do that on the first go because I wasn't paying attention ultimately. And so you can see me here like seeing that I should probably reset. She's currently in her binary form, which is why that did so much damage. How many creators were there? I would say about 30-ish over the course of 2 or 3 days. I didn't really understand how Ghost Rider worked. He can create, essentially, I think the gimmick with Ghost Rider is that he can create like pits, and these pits go to the hell, the spirit of vengeance, whatever the Ghost Rider stuff is. And I think that you can kick people into them, is essentially what I was gathering. But I didn't really find super success with it. You can see right here, yeah, it creates a drop. So I guess a drop is like the game's term for creating some sort of like pit. This is me realizing like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do anything here because that's immune to knockback, and I'm probably going to end up resetting. But I'm sure Ghost Rider's cool. I just didn't necessarily understand him right out of the gate. I'll skip ahead a little bit.
Good girl, Charlie.
This was a blast, Hunter.
There's some hangouts. Oh, right there. You got some, you got a tank top.
A potentially transformative one.
She's in the game, by the way.
Blessing. Looking for your
There's me running around doing different stuff around the Abbey. It's kind of big. There's no mini map. I actually found myself getting lost a couple of times. Here's the forge. Thought I could loot that. You can see the different menus in here. What's it going to cost? It's normal price game. I think 60, 70, something like that. But yeah, I'm ripped AF. Okay. I am swole AF. Oh, there is one thing I want to show you guys. Because we are getting a little bit close to wrapping the video up. Let me show you guys this thing before we do. Where is it? That's that. Kind of a cool thing. If you, okay, here it is. So, when you finish the mission, you might remember in XCOM how you were able to make victory poses.
Always nice to see you too, buddy. So I'm thinking
and have little calling cards for recruitment for the XCOM. They've changed that system up a little bit. While it's pretty much pointless from what I could tell, it's kind of cool. Because when you finish a mission, this is what happens. You get to make a comic book cover. You can do a lot of stuff with it too. There's a lot of customization. You can like change up everything. Now, are you gonna do this more than once? I don't know, maybe. I think it's clever as hell though that you could do this, because you can make some really goofy stuff happen. Yeah, the biggest lie on this screen is that it's 35 cents. You can change the background, you can add text, they have a ton of different options. I didn't spend too long with it, but you could do a ton. It's kind of wild. They got camera. I mean, they had so much that I was overwhelmed with all the different things that you could do. And so I just started like choosing things at random. It's kind of cool though. Kind of a fun little, I think it was pretty clever of them to do this from like a combination of Marvel and things that already existed kind of in their DNA at Firaxis with XCOM stuff. Mission rating 1 star out of, I don't know how high it goes. I think the highest I got was 2, which I think means I suck because one of the guys got knocked out. Oh yeah, someone was asking what happens when a character dies. You can use, I think, 1 heroic point to res them. So that's how that goes. But yeah, it looks like I think Co and Zeke are back, so we can probably fire up the Devolver stream. We'll probably go over some of this footage in the future. For what it's worth, I had a very good time with this. I'm very much looking forward to playing this in October when it releases. The story was fun. I really enjoyed the gameplay. I think that they're, the idea that XCOM 3 didn't get made because of this, I think those games could still come out and exist. I'm glad that this got made though, but that's because I'm a diehard Marvel fan. And I think there's still a lot to, from a gameplay perspective for people that necessarily aren't giant Marvel fans like me. I think the gameplay is still pretty fun. And I think people will be able to find a good chunk of time spent in this. So, yeah. That's kind of that. We'll circle back and maybe cover a little bit more of this on MCU Crew on Monday and talk with Bronze and Jesse and pull up some more footage. But that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments over on YouTube, and we'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to drop a follow, a subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff, and we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks for watching. We're out here. Bye-bye.